Secretary Schultz calls Cubans and Soviets in Central America a cancer. There's a controversial Minnesota decision on when life begins, and a reunion of the chosen few, very brave men.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Secretary of State George Shultz today led the administration charge against the role of Soviets and Cubans in Nicaragua. He called them a cancer, and he vigorously defended the Contras, those are the American-backed rebels, shooting down a Soviet-built helicopter in Nicaragua. 14 people were killed, including 2 Cubans, and this was Schultz's reaction.
Thank goodness that they did get a hold of some weapons that can knock these choppers down, and were able to use them. They have gotten a hold of missiles, surface-to-air missiles, and they have figured out how to use them, and they've used it effectively in this case. And I say, fine, I'm all for it.
And NBC's Fred Francis reports from the Pentagon tonight that he's been told by intelligence sources and Contra leaders that the Contras, those are the American-backed rebels, brought down 2 Soviet-built helicopters this week. According to these sources, the Contras used a Soviet-built surface-to-air missile, which is handheld, to bring down the choppers. The Contras are known to have a few of those missiles. Nicaragua reacted with anger to these latest charges from the administration, recalling its ambassador to Washington. And in Nicaragua itself, President Daniel Ortega said this is the beginning of a new and highly dangerous crisis. NBC's Mike Betcher is in Nicaragua tonight.
The workday was cut short by Sandinista leaders who asked thousands of their followers to protest at the U.S. Embassy. Managua was making a point to Washington that it believes the Contras' surface-to-air missiles have seriously escalated Nicaragua's war and perhaps the war in nearby El Salvador. Responding to praise of the missile attack by Secretary of State Schultz, Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega said, quote, "The use of this missile by the Contras opens the door to other guerrilla forces in Central America to use the same weapon. It was a clear reference to Salvadoran guerrillas who could use the same type of missile to shoot down U.S.-made helicopters supplied to the Salvadoran army." Ortega said the United States was mining Nicaragua's skies as it had mined Nicaragua's ports last year. The Contras proudly displayed a surface-to-air missile to an NBC camera crew last summer. Their inexperience with the weapon, evidenced then, apparently has been overcome. The missiles threaten a growing fleet of Soviet-built helicopters on which the Sandinista army relies heavily. U.S. officials contend that many of the pilots are Cubans. The Contras have learned to fear the sounds of rockets blasting from the pods of Nicaragua's Mi-8 and Mi-24 helicopters. The flow of Eastern Bloc weapons to the Sandinista army has surged in recent months. So have Contra arms acquisitions. Both sides are recruiting more men and giving them better weapons. Weapons which President Ortega now implies could be used by guerrillas fighting Central American governments friendly to the United States. Mike Betcher, NBC News, Managua.
On another matter today, Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger, an outspoken critic of SALT II, that's the arms control agreement with the Soviets, charged that the Russians have installed 27 new long-range missiles, SS-25s. He said they have been deployed at a very rapid rate. That's a clear violation of SALT II limits. This is the first time that Weinberger has used exact numbers for the SS-25s. And in Belgium and in France today, terrorists bombed 3 sites, 2 of them involving NATO. A group called the Fighting Communist Cells took responsibility for the NATO attacks. That included an attack on a NATO office in Versailles, France, which is responsible for operating an Allied pipeline. The pipeline itself was also attacked. No one was hurt. But in the Belgian city of Liège, 1 man was killed when terrorists bombed a courthouse, apparently believing that the Belgian justice minister was there. He was not. No one is sure who is responsible for this attack. Also coming up in this program tonight, special segment, John Hart's report on how the missing kids case in this country is overstated. And Bob Dotson tonight with a living memory of full-service gas stations still doing business after all of these years.
Tums doesn't have it. Rolaids doesn't have it. Maalox Plus does. We have what you need for complete relief of excess acid, heartburn, and gas. You need Malox, America's #1 antacid for excess acid and heartburn, plus the #1 reliever of painful gas pressure. Now both come in handy roll packs of Malox Plus tablets and fast-acting liquid. Compared to these others, only Malox Plus has all that, plus a great Swiss cream flavor. Get complete relief. Try Malox Plus.
Ever try borrowing for something unusual, like a family gym? Big financial institutions don't always understand, but someone does.
Hi, I'm Jack.
The boss at Beneficial. We're big, but we have Beneficial home equity loans just right for home improvements. It's just you and the boss, and a commitment, usually in 48 hours.
That does it. Glad it worked out.
Beneficial. Talk to the manager, and you're talking to the boss.
For over 30 years, I was a blade shaver. Then I tried the Remington microscreen and fell in love. That's why I bought the company. The Remington microscreen shaved me as close as a blade and fast. Remington has 2 thin, flexible screens. The first shaves incredibly close, the second even closer. And the Remington microscreen rechargeable never needs a cord. American technology has produced a most advanced and fun way to shave. And the Lady Remington rechargeable, the perfect gift, shaves without a cord.
In Malta today, officials said the only surviving hijacker of that Egyptian airliner soon will be charged with murder as soon as he is well enough to appear in court. From his hospital bed, he identified himself as Mohamed Ali Rezak. He said that despite his Tunisian passport, he is a Palestinian. He said there were only 2 other hijackers, and they boarded the plane in Athens, Greece. The hijack ended when Egyptian commandos stormed the plane. Altogether, 60 people were killed. It was during another hijacking of the Achille Lauro that Alex Oda lost his life here in the United States. He was killed by a bomb planted in the California office of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination League. Whoever caused his death still is at large, but NBC's Carl Stern reports tonight that there is now new pressure to move against terrorists who strike at American Arabs.
A week ago, the organization's Washington, D.C. office was gutted by fire. In Boston, a bomb found outside its office injured a policeman. Near Los Angeles, a bomb blast killed the organization's regional director. Each office belonged to the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, and many Arab Americans, such as these who met in Los Angeles last night, are angry.
The threat exists against any Arab American, certainly any Arab American that attempts to voice his opinion on something that is as delicate as Middle East foreign policy.
Even though we've been threatened, even though our friends are being killed and our offices are being bombed, we are still here and we're not going to stop.
Today, former Senators James Abarisk and Charles Percy, declaring that Arab Americans are under attack, went to meet with the FBI director. Afterward, outside his office, they said they had gone over a list with the director of people who might be responsible.
It was evidence that would allow the FBI to continue looking at various people that I have turned up evidence on, and that's all. It's nothing. It wouldn't be useful for me to give names.
Okay, but these are individuals whom you suspect were involved.
Yes.
The incidents were being investigated as arson. Now the FBI is checking whether there is a civil rights conspiracy against the Arab Americans. Militant groups such as the Jewish Defense League denied responsibility, and the investigation is focused now on certain individuals rather than on any group. Carl Stern, NBC News, Washington.
When life begins, that's a question hotly debated in this country. Some say that it begins at conception. Some when there is a detectable heartbeat. But the state Supreme Court of Minnesota has now ruled that a fetus is not a human being until it is born into the world. NBC's Jim Cummins reports tonight on the case that led to this ruling.
More than a year ago, John Soto was charged with drunk driving and homicide when his car struck another one driven by Janet Johnson, who was 8.5 months pregnant. Mrs. Johnson survived the accident, but her unborn child died, prompting the homicide charge. The Minnesota Supreme Court has thrown out the murder charge against Soto, saying a fetus is not a human being until it is born alive. The parents are angry.
These babies are human beings. Just because they don't happen to be outside of the womb shouldn't really make any difference if they are capable of living on their own.
At this point, only 16 states have so-called fetus laws, laws that make it possible to hold someone accountable for the death of a fetus in a case like this. The prosecutor in this case plans to seek a similar law in Minnesota.
The argument that we put forth is that the medical science has changed and that the definition of a human being has a lot more to do now with viability in the womb than it does with being born alive.
Minnesota legislators are concerned about the sensitive issue of when life begins.
Perhaps the easiest way to do it would be to come up with some sort of proposal aimed at wrongful death against a fetus without addressing the issue of whether or not the fetus is a person or is not a person.
One Minnesota lawmaker has already written a bill that would make it a crime to harm a fetus under certain circumstances. The legislature will consider that bill when it returns here in February. Jim Cummins, NBC News, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Earlier this week, Brian Ross reported on this program that the alleged mafia boss, Michael Franchese, was under federal investigation on charges of cheating the government of hundreds of millions of dollars in gasoline taxes. Franchese refused to be interviewed by NBC News, but today he told WNBC-TV in New York that the charges against him are untrue and part of an FBI vendetta against him because his father was an organized crime figure. He said he was in the gasoline business, but that he had done nothing illegal.
Howdy, baby. How are you? 50 more Rees? No problem. Ciao. I need 50 pine cone Rees.
More Rees!
Putting things together is easy with the Thermogrip brand hot glue gun. It creates crafts and does repairs quickly and easily because it bonds to almost anything in just 60 seconds, which also makes it a perfect gift for just about anyone. The Thermogrip brand hot glue gun from Emhart. Free craft book offer where you see these displays.
Morning is your time. The earth wakes up with you. You always feel that spark of light in everything you do.
Grape nuts. For you, it's as natural as the morning. No sugar added, no preservatives, just an honest nutty crunch. Post Grape Nuts cereal. You know when you've got it good.
Yes, you know when you've got it good.
Kmart is your Christmas saving place, especially now. This Expressions dinnerware is just $27.88. Worsted yarn's just 88 cents. Gold jewelry 60% off. And save on Santa Cruz towels. Washcloth 97 cents, hand towel $1.67, and bath towel just $2.17. Plus hundreds more items in your Kmart sales circular. This is a great gift for, say, a single son, mom.
You can't do better than Kmart, the saving place.
Special segment tonight. Who's missing and why? Missing kids. It's one of the phenomena of our time, the terrifying possibility that someone may grab your child and disappear. Parents groups, new law enforcement techniques, television programs have all grown out of this concern. Yet NBC's John Hart now has discovered the problem may be greatly overstated.
Tamara Taylor, 59 inches, 85 pounds, brown eyes, black hair, brown skin.
Video mugshots of Tammy Taylor of Maywood, Illinois, and everyone else in her school, first grade through 8th, faces on file. Why?
So we don't get kidnapped. Because there are a lot of people out there that take children.
When they find them, they usually be dead or raped or something.
There's a lot of bad people out here, you know. This is America.
Actually, it's Emerson Elementary School where there hasn't been a kidnapping, not in 10 years at least. It's Illinois where state police have only 1,400 cases of missing kids statewide, and only 1% of those may be victims of foul play. Most are runaways, and
they discovered that more than 95% return home safe within 72 hours.
The Maywood kids don't know this.
Each day someone's getting kidnapped and they can't find them.
Where do they get that idea?
You hear it almost every day on the news. This child is missing and so on and so on.
July 21st.
And on billboards. And on up to 5 billion milk cartons. And hundreds of appeals.
And nearly 2 million are missing. And who knows what's happened to them?
The Maywood kids are not told these are estimates, and that most missing kids are runaways, and very few are abducted by strangers. There's a serious argument over how few.
I believe the truth to be
that there are less than 100 children per year abducted by strangers.
The biggest numbers come from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, a federal agency whose large estimates are increasingly under challenge. Take the center's estimate for all missing kids.
The 1.3 to 1.8 million missing children comes out of federal studies that were done in years past.
The FBI says it doesn't know of any database to support this figure. Since most of the kids are back home in a few days, the center gives a much smaller figure for kids missing longer.
20 to 50,000 kids are missing for a significant period of time.
This is an estimate of kids still missing at the end of the calendar year, an estimate, and it's not 1 million or 2 million. Who are they? Most are teenagers, many running away from abuse at home to danger in the street. A smaller number is kidnapped by parents who don't have legal custody. And the smallest number is abductions by strangers. The FBI has 68 such cases. Children are missing. Some are abducted. Many are at risk. The irony is the national rush of genuine concern has helped find dozens of kids, but may have frightened millions unnecessarily. At Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, pediatrician Abraham Bergman says the chance of a child being taken by a stranger is the same as being struck by lightning.
I don't think that strangers hurt kids very much. Child abuse occurs mostly in the child's own home. They don't really have to be so fearful that every stranger they see is going to whisk them off and torture them and kill them.
See, and if anything happens to you, we know we got your fingerprints on file. But we don't want nothing bad to happen to you, okay?
John Hart, NBC News, New York.
Tales of heartburn from Gaviscon antacid. Once a man ate all of Italy.
Pasta with tomato sauce and garlic.
In one night.
And the garlic.
And discovered the only thing worse than daytime heartburn.
Heartburn.
Is nighttime heartburn. Fortunately, there was Gaviscon, specially formulated so it not only gives fast relief during the day, it even works at night when you're lying down. Gaviscon antacid. It even works lying down.
It's the season for holiday giving, and Norelco has the quality gifts to give. Give him a blade close shave, or put a shine on his shoes. Give her sleek new ways to stay beautiful, or a bright new way to start the day. Give a blood pressure meter, fabric steamer, travel iron, cordless hand vac, or the ultimate in ironing ease. For quality holiday gifts, it's Noelco, because even our name says Merry Christmas.
Noelco, we put quality first.
Your days go by fast. Your work never seems to end.
That's why Whirlpool dishwashers are designed to make your world a little easier. Our Power Clean Energy Saver dishwashers are easy to load, have the power to clean up almost anything you dish out, and are energy efficient. Whirlpool, quality appliances.
We're making your world a little easier.
Whirlpool makes it easier for you. Whirlpool.
For 7 weeks now, veterans in Seattle have been keeping a vigil at the side of Gino Casanova. He's a 34-year-old Vietnam vet who's been on a fast, hoping to draw attention to the men still missing in action in Southeast Asia. As NBC's Charles Gomez reports tonight, he caught the attention of President Reagan just in time.
Exhausted and near collapse, Vietnam veteran Gino Casanova left his bamboo cage this morning and ended a 51-day fast that brought him to the attention of President Reagan. During a visit to New York yesterday, the president made a surprise call to Casanova, who agreed to end his fast if the president would talk to him about men still missing in action in Southeast Asia.
Is there a chance that, myself and a couple of us common people could meet with you in about 15-30 minutes at your convenience within the next 60 days anywhere?
The answer was yes, but only if Casanova broke his fast.
You bet. I'm going to have something to eat tonight. We'll be seeing you within 60 days, sir.
As friends celebrated, Casanova drank a beer. Today, veterans who came to thank Casanova were elated.
He's answered many prayers of many thousands of people.
His doctor said it would be some time before Casanova could return to his regular diet.
He will be on solid foods in 2 or 3 days, probably 2 weeks before he eats pizza.
Casanova began his fast on October 16th. He swore he would not eat food for 61 days, 1 day for each Washington state man believed still missing in Southeast Asia. When Gino Casanova began his fast from this bamboo cage just 52 days ago, he said his objective was simply to call some attention to the MIA issue. Now that his fast may lead to a meeting with the president, Casanova says, "My only regret is that I didn't do it 10 years ago." Charles Gomez, NBC News, Kent, Washington.
In Korea, 35 years ago this week, they were fighting one of the bloodiest battles of the war. Americans, heavily outnumbered at the Chosin Reservoir, the survivors called the Chosen Few. As NBC's George Lewis reports tonight, the Chosen Few became Marine Corps legends, and they are holding a reunion this week in San Diego.
First international reunion of the Chosen Few will now come to order.
There are 1,420 of them here, men who share the unique bond born in the fields of combat. They came here to renew that bond, to get reacquainted.
Oh, I never even dreamed. I thought you were dead.
To swap old war stories.
In other words, I was a guy that had the most time in the front lines.
Yeah. To remember the way they were.
This is what Barry used to do over there. See it?
They remember with a mixture of pride and sorrow for the buddies who didn't make it. There were a lot of them. Out of the 15,000 Allied troops who fought at the Chosin Reservoir, 3,000 were killed, 6,000 were wounded, thousands of others suffered frostbite in the below-zero temperatures.
I'm glad to see people off of that hill that I never thought I would get off of.
The Allies hopelessly outnumbered, 15,000 of them against 120,000 Chinese troops.
Outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned, but not outfought.
As they fought their way out of Chosin, Marine General Oliver P. Smith uttered a memorable quote, later dramatized by Hollywood.
Withdraw? You mean retreat?
Retreat, hell. We're just attacking in another direction.
The Marines, well aware that these men are part of the Corps' legend, gave them the VIP treatment at a demonstration of modern firepower. But for these men in their 50s and 60s, this reunion has not been all fun and games. For the vets, the most difficult moment, the most painful memories came today as they visited this place, the Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery. The men who did not come home. As one of the vets put it, if all men loved one another as much as we loved these guys, there wouldn't be any need for war. George Lewis, NBC News, San Diego.
You're so nice to help me carry these.
No problem.
Where are your packages?
I did my shopping here.
Oh, an FTD florist?
I sent all the special people on my list a Candle Glow bouquet.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's filled with greens, flowers, a glass chimney, and a candle.
What a thoughtful gift. But how did you carry them all?
I didn't. My FTD florist had them delivered all over the country.
What a great idea. Here, hold this.
The FTD Candle Glow bouquet, an ideal way to handle your holiday shopping.
You've been traded, Rolaids. For acid and gas, your performance is not up to tempo.
Sorry, but you're fired, Malox. You don't work hard enough. I'm switching to Tempo.
Our relationship is over, Tums. I found someone better. Tempo.
For better relief from acid and gas, people everywhere are switching to Tempo. Its soft form holds 75% more acid-relieving medicine than Rolaids. And soft Tempo dissolves fast. Switch to better relief. Switch to soft Tempo.
I'm glad I found you.
I am Marvin Kalb. Sunday on Meet the Press, Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole on why there's nothing yet on tax reform and a balanced budget. Sunday on Meet the Press.
The age of battery flashlights is over. Introducing the First Alert rechargeable flashlight. The powerful new flashlight that never needs batteries. The First Alert rechargeable flashlight is always bright because it has a unique power plug for easy recharging and a krypton bulb for a powerful beam. Get the new First Alert rechargeable flashlight from First Alert.
The parts of America that are disappearing. Drugstores with soda fountains, doctors' house calls, saddle shoes, big bands, hair tonic, and service. We get cash these days from machines. We order food over impersonal speakers. We receive letters from computers. Don't give up hope. NBC's Bob Dotson tonight with a survivor of the past.
Welcome to Popeyes. May I take your order, please? 9569.
The more we see of the future,
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
the lonelier it seems. Progress has come to mean no people. Personal service has gone the way of the buffalo.
Oh, we're the men of Texaco. We work from Maine to Mexico.
Remember when service was not just for the rich?
Good morning.
At Vince's Red Carpet gas station,
well, how are you today?
It has never gone out of style.
I wipe the pipe, I pump the gas, I rub the hub, I scrub the glass, I touch the clutch, I'm off the top, I poke the choke, I sell the pop.
You've got to be darn quick not to get waited on.
Sir, we'll get that for you.
The last time I ran gas, I had to walk 5 miles or close to that because nobody would give me a ride back to the car. I mean, these guys insisted on doing it.
People do come from all over.
I was on the other side of town, and even though I was a little low on gas, I knew I'd make it here.
They are willing to pay 20 cents more a gallon for this service because the Red Carpet has coddled its customers for 25 years.
It'll probably be late this afternoon.
It won't be dark. I don't drive after dark.
Okay, before 5 o'clock.
Since everyone wants his car the same day, it's traditional for mechanics to run back and forth to the parts store next door.
Have to wait for your car? This is a soundproof lounge. There are no grime-covered calendars of last year's Miss Wrench. No cigar fossils in the ashtrays. But for those who prefer warm food, there is an oven.
You see, Vince once went to a self-service station.
Like going into a bar, ordering a drink from a dispenser, and then going to the corner and sitting by yourself at a table.
Can I just put a piece of tape over it?
There's no way to, repair that with tape. It just won't hold.
So what
It's like
can I do? Just get it repaired?
Putting a Band-Aid on an appendectomy, you can't do that.
The Red Carpet gas station has been in the family for 3 generations. Vince's son Steve is now learning the business. From the bottom up.
We're the merry Texacomen. Tonight we may be showmen. Tomorrow we'll be servicing your car.
Bob Dotson, NBC News.
Have a nice day.
Denver.
That's nightly news for this Friday night. Connie Chung will be here tomorrow night. I'll be reporting from Los Angeles on Monday night. So for now, from all of us humans at NBC News, have a good weekend.
Up next on the scene at 6, Kentucky prosecutors say the wrong man may have been charged in the murder of a Clarksville liquor store clerk. A 21-year veteran of the Metro Police Department is charged with racketeering. We'll talk live with Vandy's new head football coach, and we'll meet the stars of Jewel of the Nile.
These stories and more news coming up next on the scene at 6.